This series is all about innovation and cutting-edge design ideas. Travelling far and wide across Australia, we showcase some of the country's best and brightest innovations and talk to their leading designers to uncover the incredible stories behind them. Welcome to Australia by Design Innovations. Australia is at the forefront of world design, and our ByDesign team of industry experts have selected some of the most cutting-edge design innovations from across the country.
The projects in this series are so diverse. We have medical solutions, we have innovations in sport and activities, we've got more user-friendly design in public spaces. It just shows the breadth of activity of what's happening here in Australia, and that we should be so excited and proud of the innovation that's coming out of this country.
Let's get started with our first project.
Like any Australian, I love camping, I love the great outdoors, except when it gets too hot. The Climate Changer 2 is such a clever little innovation. I just can't believe anyone hasn't thought of it before.
Camping in the great Aussie bush, all you need is a tent, a swag and a billy. But it can get mighty hot in the middle of the Australian summer. This next innovation is here to save the day in a very cool way.
I grew up camping. We travelled around Australia for 12 months and just loved it with my mum and dad, my older brother. We were away camping one Christmas, I think it was in 2018. I was out windsurfing, I was sitting in the water looking at a family up on the beach. They had the big silver tarp set up.
Very similar to this one.
Very similar to that, yeah. Stinking hot day, and none of them were sitting under it. They were all sitting off to the side under a tree because it just gets so hot.
Okay, so this is what most people are putting up with at the moment.
That's
looks
right.
like a typical campsite.
It does.
This is what we call the fly, the tarp that goes over your tent.
That's right, they're still using it to this day, but it doesn't offer much protection.
In actual fact, this is making it worse in terms of heating up. It's like creating an oven effect for your tent.
It is, it keeps the sun and the rain out, but actually makes it hotter underneath. As I mentioned, I was windsurfing one day and I looked down at my sail in the water and it was sort of horizontal to the water, creating this little void here, and that's when the simple idea of an air gap just came into my head, and I thought, why can't there be two layers?
That is some eureka moment, man.
Yeah, it's simple, but sometimes simple's the best. Once I had the idea from the single layer tarp, the first thing I did, because I didn't have any idea how to do it, is I rang my old man and got him around to have a look.
Right, Dad, what did you think? He's mad.
Well, fortunately, I had the sewing machine, I had the room to do it, and I had the time to do it.
So the first idea was to come up with effectively a cavity, which is what we build our houses with.
Yeah, we started with a 100mm cavity or air gap.
Righto, and what happened with that?
Well, we tested it out. It was heavy, it was bulky, so we went through a few iterations.
Yeah, you went to what?
So this is a 75mm cavity.
I don't understand, right? You've gone from 100 to 75?
Yes. Yep.
Why? That would make it worse, wouldn't it?
Well, we had to find out, didn't we? So that's the whole point of it.
Right, okay.
We were getting the same temperature reduction from the 75 as we were with the 100.
Right. So this is it then? What was wrong with this?
No, that's not it. No,
We go again.
Jump higher,
We kept going.
Jeff said.
Yeah, we kept going.
What's wrong with this then?
Well, it was too heavy.
The fact that Joel had already come up with this idea that was going to reduce the temperature was already incredible. What I was really excited about was that I got to come on board when he was ready to take that functional product to market. He wanted some input on how to actually tackle that.
And that was suggesting to Joel, we've got to look at the fabric.
Yeah, that's what it came down to, which was fantastic. So this rPET fabric, which is made from recycled bottles, was readily available. Then we went into a process of testing and the outcomes were fantastic.
So Joel, explain again the innovation here.
Yeah, well here it is. It's our 75mm air gap. So it's open at both ends. All the hot air that's caught in between here gets blown out with the wind. And Peter, I just want to show you this. So at the top here, at the high point, we have a hole that runs the whole way through the baffles. This allows for a ridge pole to be installed, but more importantly, it allows all the hot air to escape at the highest point.
Yeah, like a chimney.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the old-fashioned shade that most people have.
Yeah.
Tell us what the temperature is.
The old silver tarp, I mean, at the moment it's sitting at 38 degrees. So let's have a look at the climate changer too.
Okay.
Here we go. What do we got?
That is 22 degrees. Wow, and this one's been up all day.
All day, yep.
The Climate Changer 2, a game changer for everyone who loves the great outdoors and those with camping in their blood. Well done.
Cheers. Cheers.
The Romy workstation is a good example of not putting up with poor design. Someone had a problem with something they were doing today, and rather than actually put up with it, they said, you know what, I can do something better.
Isn't this gorgeous? Work and play are becoming increasingly interchangeable, but what is today's true digital nomad? Having devices that are getting smaller and smaller isn't always better. Come and meet the ex-truckie who's on the case. I have to say, Dave, this looks a little suspicious. Are you actually a spy?
Absolutely not. No spying going on here. I'm not that talented. So this is all my office that I have set up at home, all in a tight, compact little case.
I need to know more about this innovation and how you came up with the design.
Well, Michaela, there's a story to tell there. Hey, Michaela, come and meet my wife, Terry. She's a big part of this story as well.
Hi, Terry.
Hi,
So nice to
Michaela.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too, love. Like a cuppa?
I would love a cup of tea, please.
So, Michaela, this is what I need to do my job anyway. I need the 2 big computer screens and I need the laptop to drive it all. I need the docker, I need everything that's on this desk. And also I have to move it all around Victoria to various sites and to do whatever. So I used to pull it to bits, put it all in a cardboard box with pillows between it, throw it in the back of the car and then spend an hour setting it up somewhere else. That's what led to this innovation in the first place.
Well, I got home from work and he said, oh, have a look at this, babe. So out into the shed and he had this big box and he had a couple of hinges on the box, and then he was in the process of putting a black handle on the top. And I said, what's this for? And it was something for him to take to work in Tassie.
I think her exact words were when I opened it up and turned it on at work was, you're a smart ass.
So for 2 years you were using something that looks really heavy actually.
That was one of the concerns. It was fairly bulky and it was fairly heavy and it was hard to manage. So I said to Terry, I think it's time we looked at, say, maybe a suitcase.
Yeah, and then you saw this show.
Yeah, we were actually sitting in the caravan and this bloke had made something to do with the caravan and then he was walking into form designs. So we wrote the number down and we've been going from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so excited that you saw something on this show. And
Yeah, I know, yeah. And we've watched all the reruns.
Have you?
Yes, even this week. We've
so
been
good.
watching them.
Wow, you both don't mind getting around, do you? Look at this spot. This is amazing.
That's our secret spot in Queensland. It's just magnificent.
I imagine the Romy's not very far away.
The Romy goes everywhere where we go, so we'll never leave home without it. Here she is, Michaela. A lot of blood, sweat and beers went into this one. Now you can see we've opened it up. All I've got is the bigger screens in the back where the screens pivot. I've got mouse, I've got keyboard, I've got laptop, and all the power comes from out the back.
And what's on this side, Dave?
So on this side, we've got a power outlet. We've got more USB-C outlets here. Also, this netting up here, it holds the power lead and the mouse pad.
So just BYO, internet, laptop and power.
Yep, and then you can design whichever way you want your laptop to be hooked up to it.
Great.
It's hard to be known as an innovator or an entrepreneur in any aspect. It's more like anyone becomes an entrepreneur when you've got a young family, because all your money goes trying to get them educated and get them through life. So you've naturally got to go out and you create things rather than go and buy things. You're just thinking, oh, I need this, I'll go and make it for myself.
I can understand why you want somewhere more mobile to work. I mean, this view is amazing.
Absolutely.
You've invested a lot into this product. What's that been like?
It's been a bit of a struggle, but it's something we've probably committed ourselves to now, so we're ready to follow it right through.
Cheers, guys. Congratulations.
Cheers. Cheers.
I really like this one. I think combining similar services is not only good for them, but also really good for the people needing the services.
You're lowering the barriers of communication, and it just means the outcome is better patient care.
The human eye and the human ear, two of nature's greatest innovations. But in coming decades, millions of us are going to lose these important senses. This next innovation will change the way we think about our eyesight and our hearing for not only people in Australia, but all around the world.
NextSense is Australia's largest provider of hearing and vision services outside of government. We've been around for 164 years, and this is our new home. We see 11,000 people on an annual basis, and that number's growing. If you look at hearing loss, by 2050 we can expect that there will be 5 million Australians that need services like the ones that we provide at NextSense. It really is important that we continue to invest to make sure we meet that need, and that the learnings that come from work that we do are actually shared globally.
From the day I was born, I progressively lost hearing and vision. In fact, if I was a car, you would have taken me back to the dealer for a trade-in. And over the years, I've got used to the fact that I have to stay ahead of this progressive loss. So throughout my life, I've looked at what strategies I can put in place to enable me to maintain my capacity to keep involved in life. If you get 10 people in the room that all know the same thing, you're not going to get innovation. If you get 10 people in a room that each have a different view of the same problem, then you start creating, or you have arguments, but then you get something new coming out of it. A lot of people know about the hearing side of things, a lot of people know about the vision side of things, but putting those together and having to come up with strategies that work for me is powerful.
But if that is the innovation, doesn't this exist somewhere else in the world? What makes this unique here, do you think?
What makes it unique is it's not just about us, it's about the work that we do with other organisations and how we bring other organisations into this. So for us, this is a world-leading hub, an ecosystem, if you like, that's being created to link in with the universities, with the manufacturers and technology providers, with the researchers, with the advocacy agencies. Our space is really a combination of many, and this building had to accommodate all of that.
One of the facilities that we have access to as being part of this ecosystem at Macquarie University is this anechoic chamber at the Australian Hearing Hub.
Let's check it out. Oh, wow.
Easily one of the quietest places in the world.
Is it really?
What we're really interested in here with this array of a 200-degree screen and this full array of speakers is to try and replicate what happens in the real world of hearing and bring that into the lab to better understand listening environments for people who are using hearing aids or cochlear implants.
This building, I think, is absolutely brilliant. You've got the schools, you've got the research facilities upstairs, and you've also have clinical rooms that are state-of-the-art. So I can see this place as generating solutions, but it's also not designed as a place where just the kids that come here benefit. It's designed as a place that allows teachers and educators from all over to come in, learn and take those skills away.
So a lot of these kids have sort of hearing issues and stuff, but they seem very happy here.
Oh, absolutely. Playgrounds should be places of learning, but they need to be accessible for everybody. And that's what our research is focused on.
Is the point being, yes?
I don't want to wear it.
What is that one?
Ice one. A bit eat.
Right.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Evening.
Can I have a look?
Okay.
Greg, you've been working in this space for the last 40 years. What has Next Sense done to this space?
Advancement in this field has been quite simply mind-boggling. If someone had told me 40 years ago that we'd see the sorts of outcomes we see for children who are born deaf or hard of hearing now, I really would have told them they were dreaming. It's logarithmic, the change. It's not just small steps, they're enormous steps. But there's an awful lot more to be done.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot we can do better, there's an awful lot we don't know. And not just about technology, but about the day-to-day interactions with children to improve outcomes.
Yeah. Now see if I can put this back together. There you
We've
go.
got him as a mate now.
Yeah, thank you. What do you love about working here at the school?
What I love? Well, it's like when you plant a flower. You know, when you plant something, you cultivate it, you give it water, and then you can watch that flower grow and blossom and flourish. So that's what happens here.
Thank you. I wish I could sign you. How do you say thank you? Thank you.
You're welcome.
4 years ago, we found out that Axel was born with profound hearing loss. It's a pretty isolating feeling to start with because you don't really know what's out there for support.
Yeah.
It's been remarkable to have a place like this to assist us on this journey and to help Axel become who he is today. We have a whole team of people that are involved with him, from speech therapists to OTs and physios. We have everyone here. It's like a big family, and the research they're doing here and the technology has just been phenomenal to give him the best chance moving forward in his future.
Whoa! So what is the innovation here? It's not just architecture, it's not just therapy, it's not just one innovation. It's a whole ecosystem coming together for our hearing and our vision. Well, that makes sense. Next Sense. Now, Axe, and in the future.
What I like about this product is that it starts by looking at this use case of people having difficulty pouring a kettle. And sometimes just understanding a particular use case will open up opportunities for all.
Now, I love a good, hot, steaming cup of tea in the morning, and I love designer appliances in my kitchen. But does the world really need another kettle?
Every kettle you put water in, you boil it, and that's usually the end of the story. But our kettle is so much more than that. It's an inclusive product.
Yeah, the Gilia kettle offers people with dexterity problems or people who are old and can't hold a kettle like they used to, the opportunity to pour safely and with control. The first product we ever designed was a kettle, and that was 43 years ago.
Wow.
There's a kettle that's maybe 25 or 30 years old that they still make.
I'm interested in this one, which is all clear. I remember there was a fashion where you had it all clear.
Yeah, but that wasn't even for that purpose. It was just to show how the mechanisms were inside.
I remember kettles like this. We had this when I was a kid.
I've always been in the designing of disability products. And we designed a kettle previously that did this sort of thing, but nothing like what we've just done. This is just something that is at another level.
These are our prototypes. This is where we started 5 years ago. You can see it's very rough. That handle doesn't work,
Okay.
kettle doesn't tip.
Yeah.
From there, we took it a step further, and this was our second prototype. This one now tips. After that, when we proved the concept, proved that it would actually do what we wanted it to do, we went to our first boiling mechanism. So if you pull the kettle out of the base, you can see there's the control.
Oh, okay.
When it's in the down position,
Like this.
it has to go into the bottom of the kettle. So when I press boil, we have to move that up so that it can then boil.
Right, okay. And it's still got these little bits here.
Yeah,
and
little tabs that allow it to
Sit.
pivot around and sit so that it's
Okay.
in position in its cradle. This is the final sample. This is where we're ready to go to market.
Is this a prototype or is this the real thing?
This is the real thing.
Right, okay.
Do you want to take a look?
Yeah. So what do I do?
Pick your temperature.
I'm going to do 90.
You'll see in a moment the light underneath here is going to come on.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, there it is.
You see it's blue?
Yep.
So this is telling us that the kettle is actually still cold.
Okay.
So it'll stay blue until the kettle's boiled.
It's coming up, I can hear it.
Yeah, and you'll see it's now starting to go pink.
Wow.
And you'll notice there's little bits of red starting to show through. So the red means we're very close.
Okay, I see. So if you are hard of hearing and you don't know also whether it's boiled,
yeah,
it's telling me it's red now.
But now maybe your eyesight's not good. So
Right.
you'll notice in a moment, once it's finished boiling, there you go, it beeps.
Right, okay. And then we come up for the kettle pour.
If you tip it,
yep,
it'll automatically go into the cup. It tells you exactly where to put the cup. Yep.
It's time for the taste test. Cheers.
Country Care is a national family business. Our mission is to empower people to improve their everyday lives through innovative healthcare solutions. We have mobility equipment and we have a whole range of assistive technology to help our clients in their home so they can stay in their homes for a bit longer.
The kettle, do you see that as a big seller?
Yes, absolutely. It will help a whole range of people with their disabilities and even the elderly so they can still have a cup of tea or coffee.
Ed, well, this is the big time. Germany, Ambient. You guys are serious.
It's going exceptionally well. We've had a whole lot of interest from a number of countries, and we're working with Rommelsbacher, and they'll be selling it in Germany, Switzerland and Austria.
So, Siggy, you're seeing a lot of hype around the Gilia.
I think that Australian design is not so far away from European design, and this is good. Makes it easy to sell it.
The Gilia kettle is not just any kettle, it's the perfect accessory for all of our lives, whether we're young or old. And importantly, it's actually beautiful too.
It's time to reveal this series' Commentator's Choice.
The commentator's choice this year was truly hotly debated. It was really nice to see that there were several projects that could have come out on top.
In our shortlist, we're really excited about Atmosfresh and the problems that they're solving in the food sector. Eyes of AI, combating that fear we have about going to the dentist. Blade Stop's definitely a front runner. They're saving people's lives and limbs.
But there can only be one winner.
After much deliberation, the Commentator's Choice Award goes to Real Brain. This company has created a massive impact on the use of actually novel ways to looking at drug discovery. Design has helped them look at an old problem in a new way. Great work.
An innovation like this, placed in the right hands of other creative scientists, I think this is just the early steps of what is possible with this. This is something quite special.
We're only seeing the start of it, and we just really can't wait to see more. It's super exciting.
One thing though is I do think they should really change the name of this innovation to the Mini Brain.
We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of Australia's most cutting-edge design innovations. Join us next time for more groundbreaking designs on Australia by Design Innovations. To watch an extended producer's cut of this episode and to get more information on any of the projects featured in the series, go to bydesign.global.